Alright, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai. All praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, so I wanted to go through some bits, some excerpts from this chapter here. I believe it's a good chapter to read. It's a good chapter to think upon and meditate upon. Okay, especially in the times that we're living in right now. Okay, because we're really in the last days of the last days right now. You're seeing rumors of wars. Okay, all over the place. You're seeing the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, casting his minions to try shake you in his truth. So in times like that, it's always important to read the scriptures and meditate upon the scriptures, because that's where you're going to have your foundations. Remember, the scripture says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability at our times. So the knowledge of these scriptures was going to stabilize us when the earth was going to shake. Okay, so it says, the elders which are among you I exhort, who I am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Yahushua Mashiach, and the partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Okay, feed the flock of the Most High. Now that's point number one. You got to do some work out here, man. Okay, there's a job to be done. Okay, which is the feeding of the flock of Yahweh outside. Okay, all right, the elect. Okay, remember what the Lord said: if you love me, feed my sheep, man, feed my flock. Okay, do the bidding, do the work, man. Okay, and you got some guys out here that get disenchanted. Okay, you had a whole few guys that fell out because they was told to do free videos. And you know what's most embarrassing about that scenario? When you check out what the disciples did, okay, for the Lord, with reference to doing His work, man, they gave it all up. Here it is in Babylon, the worst captivity ever. The Most High, okay, at the very least, leaves you some bits and pieces, man. You might have a little apartment, a little job, a little woman here and there, okay, or a variation of those things. Okay, maybe some kids or whatever. You got a little bit of something, but when the Lord was on the scene, He required that them disciples follow Him just through and through, man, every day. Okay, they left their wives, their businesses, their families. Yeah, I had it to where two brothers were out there fishing, and the Lord said, look, you ain't fishing anymore, man. Why don't you leave all of that back? Okay, so when you compare that to what some guys fell out of, you're gonna take 10 minutes out of your motherfucking day, 10 minutes, 3 days in a week. That's it. The Lord required all of it when He's on the scene, and ultimately He does require all of it, because you gotta constantly meditate upon His truth, constantly study. Okay, you have some chill out time. Even the Lord has some chill out time. But God damn it, most of your breath, your essence, your being is supposed to be towards perfecting and pushing His truth. Okay, that's why the scripture says, "Be ye perfect, like your Father in heaven is perfect." But even in that, if we're on this side, man, damn, you still get to have some bits, man. And them disciples that followed Jehoshaphat, they did not have that. So, doing the work and in the diligence that we're doing it in, really, because the internet does the heavy lifting, we got it good, man. Okay, in retrospect. So there should be nobody falling out on an account of doing too much work. We got it easy, man. You can go to work and do a video and reach, you could hit like 1 million people. See you push a point, and you're doing that on lunchtime on your break or something. So in comparison to what the Lord had to do, you have to go to a city, jump on a boat, okay, go across the ocean, get to the place, gather a crowd. You know what I mean? There's more stuff you have to do that involves you actually leaving your life. But now, because we got the internet, it does the heavy lifting. It ain't really that difficult in retrospect. Okay, so it said, feed the flock of the Most High which is among you, right? Taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willing. but willingly, not for filthy lucre's sake, but for ready minds. So, stealing money from people that are really just sincere, and using this truth as a means of merchandise. You ain't supposed to be doing that. It says neither as being laws over the Most High's heritage, okay, but being in samples of the flock. And that's dealing with. No, really check it out. You got the apostles of Great Millstone, the elders. You got the men underneath, the elders underneath them, and then the subsequent brothers onto the least guys, the younger guys. But really, when you check out, how much of people are in Great Millstone, for instance, or follow the teachings of Great Millstone, it might be maybe a cool 100,000, maybe 144,000, maybe. Wink, wink. Okay, but that's like that's nothing in comparison to the population of the world. Okay, so this is we're supposed to be an ambassador for Yahweh Shai, each and every one of us, from Elder Tahar on down. And the Elder Tahar, he's the ambassador, and that's like perfect conduct right there. And all the people at Great Millstone are supposed to be underneath that vibration, because we too become ensamples for the rest of these people out here, especially the Israelites, to the end that the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter, is fulfilled, wherewith it says, that shall be like a likened unto a light atop a hill, okay, and how the different nations was going to come to us and learn of our ways. So we was going to be an example for the rest of the world to be what? For conduct, okay, starting first and foremost with the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, the brotherly love we had amidst us. Those are all things that made us who we are, and made us peculiar. Okay, it says, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive a crown of your glory that fadeth not away. And this is all going into the corruptible crown. And I did a video regarding the corruptible crown maybe 2 weeks ago. And this is an important thing, because you got a lot of cats out there that chase after the corruptible crown, and as a result, they fall out of this truth, man. Okay, because they it's corruptible. That's the worst thing about it. It corrupts. Okay, what the Lord's bringing is incorruptible. Okay, it ain't gonna be lost. Okay, it ain't gonna be stolen. It ain't gonna rust. Okay, it ain't gonna mold away. But rather, it was gonna be forever. And that's what you're looking to receive. That's what you're working for. That's what you're working towards. Okay, you're working towards an incorruptible crown. Okay, that's what your mind is supposed to be pursuing. Okay, so let's go on to the fifth verse. It says, likewise, ye younger brothers, submit yourselves unto your elders, ye owe, and yea, owe, if you be subjects one to another, and be clothed with the humility, right? For the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace unto the humble. And there's a lot said within that verse right there. I might end up cutting this video into like this chapter into like 2 bits. Maybe do the second bit tomorrow lunchtime, because there's a lot to mention. Okay, so humility is a key within this truth. Okay, you gotta be humble, man. All right. But first and foremost, once you realize how much iniquity you did, that's supposed to put you in a state of mindset that, look, hold on a minute, I really ain't, nothing. But you got some guys out there that say they ain't nothing, but on when you tell them, look, you got a stain on your shirt, they're saying their righteousness is likened unto filthy rags, and then you tell them they got a stain on their white tee. They got a problem with that. And that's a quote from Dallas too, and I believe it's a beautiful quote, because that exemplifies a lot of people, including myself at times. I pray Yahweh Shai help me out with that particular demon. But you got a lot of individuals, when you say, look, they'll tell you, look, my righteousness is as filthy rags, all of that good shit. But when you tell them you got a stain on your shirt, maybe a little bit of a splatter, okay, for some squeezed ketchup on that white t-shirt, these dudes, man, they'll turn around and try provoke you to anger, okay, after saying all of that, because they don't really see it like that. They're already righteous, and part of the prerequisite of being righteous is looking like you're humble, but you actually have to be humble. And I'll tell you something, if you're of the elect, the Most High will make you humble through the adversity that you're catching. That's why you catch hell too. Remember what the Apostle Paul said. He says, through my infirmities, I'm gonna glorify, because that was gonna mean that I wasn't buffeted up, man. So gonna be on point. And that's why you catch all of that hell. So you see a guy coming to the truth in a 3 Series, or I don't know these cars, but one of them swanky cars, and you know, all the women is flocking to him, and all of this, that, and the third. That's a guy that's probably gonna fall out, man. Okay, because those are not comforts that the Most High is gonna really provide for you within this truth. Now you're gonna have bits and pieces, but because the prerequisite to this truth is humility, the Most High is gonna give you a situation for humility. That's the fuckery about it. You'll be given a situation where you're gonna be humble, because the Most High is gonna take away certain things from you, whether it's your knees. Okay, a lot of brothers got knee problems and knee problems. God damn it, you can't walk that shit off. That will mess up your whole vibe for the rest of the day. Okay, maybe some other issues, you know, broken families or whatever. All of these things that keep you in a state of being humble, because humility is a prerequisite. Okay, so let's touch on some other points within that verse. It says, it says there, be subject to one another. So, you know, if you're subject to your, you know, quote unquote lesser man, then you're gonna be listening to, you know, the younger brothers that are in the camp. I'm not saying do that all the time, because them, you know, that's not what your job is to do. But if the point is on point, then it don't matter where it comes from. That's the end all be all. Okay, if the point is the point, then it don't matter where it comes from. Okay, you get rebuked, deal with it. Okay, but you know, obviously you come up on a certain level, then certain things, remember the scripture says, you know, rebuke not an elder. So certain individuals have gone through all of that, okay, and are exempt from certain situations. But you know, the precept says what it says. You're supposed to, you know, be subject one to another. And that just is dealing with structure, okay, organization, and order. And that's an important thing: structure, organization, and order. Because if you're trying to build a nation up and everything is not organized, then it ain't gonna work, man. Okay, it ain't gonna work. Okay, and let's just hit this last point here: the Most High resisteth the proud, okay, but giveth grace unto the humble. Okay, why do you need grace? Because you know, we're getting into a time where the Most High is gonna be chopping off a lot of people. Okay, he's gonna be giving a lot of people the wacko zappo. So humility is important, but it's also important to remember the Most High resisteth the proud. Okay, and pride is just a state of insecurity too. Anyway, so you find a lot of people that ain't really got a good relationship with the Most High. They'd be hella proud because they're insecure, man. So they gotta qualify themselves in the things of the world. Okay, they gotta qualify themselves in things that lead it onto pride. Okay, so that's part one. I don't know how many parts of this particular chapter I'm gonna go through, but that's part one. And you know, Lord's will, I get to finish up the rest of this chapter possibly tomorrow, and then maybe even the day after, depending on how many verses there is. There's not too many verses, but we're only going through 5. So I'm gonna say, all praise unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, double honors to the Apostles of Great Millstone. Honest your others will be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.